What's going on, Kansas? All right. So let's get started here. Oregon, not on. Oregon. Okay. Easy enough. Look at that. And then on. See, Lori Bowe's right on top of it. Learn something new every day. Like I said, I love applicable learning. I think that there is I don't want to say it's weak, but you know when you get on one of those trainings and the speaker has the opportunity to give you all the gold nuggets, but it's like they spend the whole time telling their life story. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, well, let me give you a couple things to write down in your notebook. And you're like, why didn't you tell me this the whole time? I can't write at Mach 15. Like, what's going on? What I love is that these two ladies are going to be bringing applicable knowledge, things that we need to be focusing on, really focused around connecting, connecting in a lot of different ways. And so it's really, really important that you're plugged in. I want to turn it over to, you guys know her and you love her. She's been involved in this company since the very beginning. She's been around for a while in this space. And what I really respect about Melisa Poiraudeau, what I really respect about her more than the fact that she's an amazing mother, more than the fact that she's an incredible wife, an amazing partner to her husband, Vincent, more than those things, which is really what I measure most people on more than anything. She is a doer. She will put the time in and honestly the finances behind what it takes to expand her wisdom and her knowledge base. I know she's told me in the past, I mean, it's over 6 figures that she has probably put into coaching and education, personal development, and more. And that is what I love about someone that never says they've got it all figured out. Someone that always says, I'm going back to the drawing board. I want to keep learning. This person's doing something that I haven't figured out. I'm going to go learn from them. She keeps her feet close to the fire. That's what I love. Not only that, but she leads by example. One of the things that I find most impressive is, how many, put a 5 in the comments if you brought a new brand partner in the month of, what was it last month? August? Put a 5 in the comments if you brought a new brand partner in. So Melisa P brought in 9 new brand partners in the month of August and is already crushing it here in the month of September. And she has been with this company for years. One of the top leaders in this company. And so what I love is, again, leading by example, never asking your team to do anything that she's not willing to do herself. And so with that being said, I want to bring her on so that she can introduce her amazing guest who is having an incredible success of her own, is the one that I believe you're going to be getting a lot of notes from this evening. But before we get to her, I want to turn it over to the amazing, the one and only Melisa Poiraudeau. What's going on, sister?
Hey, Taylor, thanks so much. Thanks so much for having us. I appreciate that. That was a really warm welcome. I always get off on a little bit of a thing when people talk about me. It's not easy for me to hear, but yeah, we had an incredible month last month. I do definitely practice what I preach. I don't think it works if you don't. I think you really need to lead by example. Otherwise, you don't get duplication, right? And duplication is what helps your team grow. We actually had multiple people rank last month on our team. And it really is all through duplicating, a system, or, as you said, I've spent a lot of money on mentors and coaches and kind of learning different systems and things that I can duplicate. And I'm just going to say one thing about that is that I didn't question it. I did it. You said I'm a doer. I'm a doer. And if Eric Worre said, this is what we're going to do, I just said, okay, and did it. Usually times 10. If they said do 10, I'd do 100. It's just the way I work. So if we question too much, a lot of times we get stuck in that vicious circle of questioning the process and not in the ever important space of doing. And that is what is so crucial. And I want to have a big shout out to my team for last month, a big shout out to everyone who put in activity last month and working their businesses and setting activity goals, because we can control activity goals. And in the whole mindset of doing and duplication, the person that I brought along with me today does just that. She is also a doer. I would actually, and I do actually, call her a master duplicator, because she doesn't question it. She just does it. It's kind of like, if you want to be where someone is, they got there by doing XYZ. I'm going to do XYZ, and then I'm going to coach XYZ, and they're going to do XYZ, and they're going to coach XYZ, do XYZ. That's duplication. It's really, really that simple. It's staying in that same space and doing the same thing without questioning it. Jessika and I met about 8 months ago, I think, something like that. We connected on Facebook. And she's an incredible leader, an incredible duplicator. I sometimes also call her the donkey lady. She shows up with her donkeys on Facebook, and I just love them. They're the cutest. And it's part of kind of what draw me to her, and showing up with her donkeys and her little what do you call it, boutique farm. And so that, wanted me to even know more about her and create even more of a connection. And when we started to have the business conversation, I had mentioned to her, because she said, listen, I want to build using social media. And I said, that's great. That's great. I looked at her Facebook again, and I thought, she has 30 friends on Facebook, and her Facebook was locked down, like as locked down could be, as private could be. And I thought, oh girl, if you want to build on social media, friend, you got to open up that Facebook. You got to be public. And, I want to preface that after 8 months later, Miss Jessika ranked gold last month, which is an incredible feat. It's astronomical, requires duplication and team leadership, and she's doing just that, exactly that, in fact. But 8 months ago, when I told her that she would have to go public and, open up on Facebook, her response to me was, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. She says, I like being private. And I'm not comfortable with that. And I don't know, Jessika, if you remember what your response was, what my response was to that. I remember very, very clearly. And boy, have things changed from 8 months ago to now. So how was my response, and how did you work through that? Because she did literally go from 35 friends to almost 6,000 in just a few short months.
Well, you still use this phrase to today, and it still makes me feel uncomfortable when you use it. And it's just one word, and it's okay. I don't like that. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. And so I let her say okay to me. And then I sat there for 2 days, and I thought, what do I want to do with this situation? And I still like being private. Don't, that hasn't changed about my personality. But I thought, I invested a lot of money into this, and I need to give it a shot. So if I don't give it a complete shot, then what is the point of me investing in this? And so I sat there with her okay, and I realized I could either wait for somebody in some sort of business anywhere to drag me across a line somewhere. But what was I really going to do with that? Would I ever be successful if I wait for others to help me achieve things? Or should I just sit with that okay and figure out what the next move was? So a couple days later, I asked her, fine. I didn't even think I asked you, I just said fine. And then I said, give me one thing that I need to do, and so I can just focus on that and not feel overwhelmed. And she said, go find friends. That's all I ask of you to do. So that's all I did, is I went and found friends for, I think, a couple months, right, Melissa? And then I said, did I hit the goal yet? And she said, I think you can keep going, because I was below the magic number. Melissa knows the magic number. I can't remember right now. I've blown past it, so I don't remember it. And so I said, okay, so what's next? And she said, keep going. And so I did. And then I said, okay, fine. First thing's down. What's the next thing? And she said, go connect with all of those people. And I was like, you want me to talk to all the 5,000 people I just became friends with? And she said, yeah, because what I did and how I found those friends, and that's one of the nuggets I want to give you guys, is don't try to be anything other than yourself. She really encouraged me, and finding friends was just to find other fellow people that I could relate to. And so in doing that, it was kind of fun. It was like an adventure. And so I went looking for other farm people. Farm life is the best life is kind of my thing. So I looked under that, hashtag, and found other people that were living and doing things similar to me. And maybe we could at least just share farm information, because I wasn't really tasked with anything else other than finding friends, remember? So it really was that easy. And then it was easy to connect with them, because then I'm like, hey, how many goats do you have? I have 2 pigs and 3 donkeys. And then the conversation just kind of goes from there. So that's how my okay went.
Yeah, I will never forget that, honestly. She kind of sat with it, and she does that still now. If there's something that she's sitting with, I will a lot of times just reply okay, because then she'll work through it. Because we don't want to give people a fish, we want to teach people to fish. And we can't teach people to lead unless we allow them to lead, unless we teach them to fish and not give it to them. And Jessika is very, very good at implementing and doing as things are, kind of handed, as far as activities or challenges. And that's kind of where we're going right now, is because for September, with everything that's happening in October and the convention and everything, for September, we are really focusing on that connection piece. And we're really focusing on having conversations and not just jumping in people's inbox and pitching them, right? So just having conversations. And Jessika, in doing what she did, became very, very good at that very early on. And we don't stop 8 months later. We continue to have those conversations and cultivate those relationships and have new ones and make new ones. So I actually had given out a challenge, and I said, go and message 10 new people that you don't normally talk to, and just ask them how their day is and if they have any plans for the weekend. And this is kind of where it all prefaced and where this training is kind of headed. And I want Jessika to tell you kind of where she took that. And yeah, Taylor.
I was going to say one thing real fast here, because she said something that stuck with me, and I saw a couple people in the comments talking about it with the hashtags that she used. Put a 3 in the comments if that got your mind turning. Put a 3 in the comments if you started thinking about hashtags in regards to reaching out. I want you guys, again, if that's not in your notes right now, if you're not storing that somewhere, you're missing the point of these calls. These calls are not for someone to come in and share just a great idea. They go, wow, that's great for them. It's about how you can start applying it within your life. My challenge to you on this one little nugget is think of, because again, to Jessica's point, she wanted to associate people that were like-minded. She wanted to associate with people. She didn't just want to, it's like if you're a staunch Republican, you don't want a bunch of staunch Democrats on your, on your page and on your team. It's going to be a lot of argument. It's going to be a lot of, this. What she wanted is like-minded individuals. And so she searched hashtags of things that she was passionate about. My challenge for each and every one of you on this call is tonight, write down 5 things that you love outside of network marketing, outside of personal development. 5 things that you love in this life, and go start searching the hashtag. Go start seeing who you can connect with within your own community. I think it's such a brilliant tip. And again, these tips are only worth their weight in gold if they're applied. And so don't just listen to it, go apply it. I think, again, Jessika, that was so strong. And so I just wanted to hit it on the head hard and make sure that everyone got that in, because if you missed it, you missed a good one. So hopefully you got it the second time around. Back to you, Melisa. Sorry, Jessika, you're on mute, but back to you, Melisa.
Oh, there, no, I'm off now. Do you mind if I drill that down 1 second further if we're giving out nuggets? So another thing about Facebook is you don't use hashtags when you use your posts. So I wanted that to be clear. The only thing I use the hashtag for is to find the people. On the post, Facebook doesn't like it. On Instagram, it does. Okay, so it depends on what platform you're on. I solely build on Facebook. So what I do is I use the people who use the hashtags to my advantage. And that way I'm not just dependent on groups that are private, and I kind of feel, I don't want to ever feel scummy, like I'm fishing for people. If it's a public post or a public page, then I can friend them and I feel fine about it. And so that's what it is. And I am going to go into 5. Melisa does teach us. I have to thank her mentorship, because I didn't know anything. I literally just came in blank. After I said, okay, I thought, I'm just going to follow this journey. I am not going to try to lead. I'm just going to, it's like I was in a cave and Melisa has the torch. I'm going to follow the leader. She got there. I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. So I literally have just been like, okay, what's next? What's next? So the 5 things is really important. Think about 5 things that make you you. It can be anything. You could be crocheting. You could be, Melisa and I always joke, Sharpies. There's a whole Sharpie market out there. People love it. You could be like, this is the best Sharpie. Look at what my Sharpie does around my yard. I write on things with it. And you'd have a whole audience of Sharpie lovers. Don't be afraid to be the unique you that you are, because your audience will come to you. And that's how I found my people and built my page so quickly. I don't know where we're headed next, but I can just keep talking really quick about communicating with them. So I built all the people, and then I just start loving on them and finding out more about them. And I've never mentioned products, you guys. If you go to my page and you see my posts, I'm integrating it into my life, but I'm not like, here, buy my product. So when I'm loving on people this whole time, I'm taking notes on what people's life is all about. So then when I go to do my post, I remember, hey, I had a lot of people this week that were having trouble with sleeping. And then I do a post about sleep and how this drink, I never mention products and I never mention the name of the company. I'm very pure to that, because I want them to have a conversation with me. Or otherwise they would just go to the store and get the product. And what's the point of me? So I have them come to me through curiosity. And then I start a conversation with them. It takes a while before they even get my link, because I'm helping them drill down what is beneficial for them. And it's based on what I've been listening to this whole time and what they've been telling me. That's my, that's my nuggets.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely perfect, because you can't sell someone something without knowing what they need it for. You may be presenting entirely the wrong solution, right? If you're talking to somebody about weight loss and they weigh 80 pounds, you're hitting the wrong topic. So in having the conversations like you're talking about and taking kind of bullet point notes as they share their pain points and you relate and have conversations with them, then when you make a post, they're going to see that post and they're going to come to you. So I think, that's perfect. And that's, yeah, Taylor.
What she just said, I need all of you guys. I know there's a lot of clapping hands. I know that everyone's, this is one of the biggest caveats of network marketing in a nutshell. This is what she just said. If everyone on this call could get this, every single one of you could figure out the frustrations of network marketing like that. That's it. That's all it is. It's simply understanding that most network marketers tried to speed past the relationship building step to get to the closing step. And what you fail to realize is if you take more time on the relationship building side, what Jessika has is a steady stream of people coming to her, asking her for more information instead of her going to her network, trying to force it down their throat. This is the genius of what it is that we do. If you put the time in on the front end, it pays massive dividends on the back end. Does that mean that every person you build a relationship with is going to join your business? No, that's not why you're doing it. Every single person you're meeting, you are, like she said, looking to qualify, looking to ask the questions, looking to see if they're a fit. Is every single person a fit for our products on this planet? Nope, they're not. We don't have oxygen products. We don't, we just don't, sorry. Our products are amazing. But again, like she said, she asked the question. So she's not asking someone that's not looking to lose weight if they're looking to lose weight. She's not asking someone that sleeps amazing if they're having trouble sleeping. She asked them questions about their life, and through that identifies a problem that then either they can come to her and ask more questions about, or she can present a solution to. This is the genius. I needed you guys to hear from both Melisa and Jessika because it is so strong. This is, again, if I could get this into everyone's head, that this is the work. This is where it comes. Our work is not sitting at a computer. Our work is not doing spreadsheets and running charts. And our work is building relationships. That's what we do. You can't speed past that. When you speed past that, you look like a spammy pammy.
And you burn a lot of bridges, right?
Exactly. And so I just thought that was amazing. Back to you guys. I just wanted to touch on that for a second. It's an unbelievable point, Jessika. Back to you, Melisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, a lot of people think that they can skip the front end work, and then you end up burning a lot of bridges. If you just jump right into what some people think are IPAs, just approaching people to buy or to join, if you skip that whole preparation part, the IPAs are not going to work. And that's why, we did that whole DMO training. It's a recorded training on our channel, is because Jessika put in the front end work the first 2 months in connecting, building her list, and not trying to leapfrog that. She did each of the steps in front and then got this organic lead generation system on Facebook because she front loaded all of that work. And so now she has that organic system of people coming to her asking for information. So that's absolutely perfect, because that's what we want. It doesn't happen overnight. We have to cultivate that. We have to plant the seeds. We have to love on the garden, the sun, the water. We have to cultivate that. And Jessika did that. And she did that very well.
Let's talk about that. Jessika, jump into that for a minute here, because I know we're going to come to the close here in just a little bit. But I did want you to jump into this. Melisa said she threw out a challenge to reach out to 10 people. Jessika did way more than that in a day. Just to put in perspective, over 100 people were reached out to in a day by her till Facebook shut her down. But I want you to think about, I want her to talk about this day for her, what that day was like. I want her to talk about the reciprocal, what has came from that day. And a little bit of what she was messaging. So Jessika, if you could kind of dive into that, because again, I think a lot of people want to do what you did in that day. They might just not have the framework or kind of the initial steps to get started. So if you wouldn't mind jumping into a little bit of what that day looked like for you.
So I'm going to actually back up just a bit, and I'll try to talk fast because I know we only have so much time. But I do the same thing every day. I don't deviate. I don't try to recreate the wheel. I literally do the same thing every day before I post. And I do what Melisa's challenge was on a smaller scale. And so, I am always loving on people, but what does loving on people really mean? So for example, birthdays, right? I think that's the easiest one to do, is love on everybody's birthdays. And so that one, hey, I say something, and I actually think I got it from Taylor. He said, I hope You're having fun from sun up to sundown. And I made that as one of my things. And I'm like, do you have any plans for today? And so that gets sent to everybody. First thing when I wake up is everybody gets a birthday message. I don't even go to look at my page yet because I want to love on people first. I feel like if I just do things that affect me, then I'm kind of being selfish. And I like the giving part first before I receive all my messages where people want stuff. So that happens. I made little notes. I always request new friends daily. Even though I'm at 5,000 and they cap me at 5,000, I'm always filtering through my list because we're not always good connections. We may not work with each other, or they could be counts that where people aren't active on their accounts, and I don't want them. I want active people who participate with me because that's the fun of it, right? So I'm always sending new friend requests every day. And then I'm engaging. Here's the key that Taylor was talking about, is I'm engaging with 10 people on my list on a daily basis that I don't usually talk to. So I go to my friends list and I look at the people who I haven't really engaged with. Like if there's a messenger message that's blank, I need to send them a message. I need to warm them up. I need to shake up my page and engage with them. So that happens every day before my post, because I've livened up my page there. It's ready for me to post, if that kind of makes sense. So then the other day, Melisa said, she encouraged us all to do even more. I thought it was 20, but I could be wrong. And maybe I saw 200. I don't really remember, but I just went on this roll. Because what happened in the beginning is she would say, send these messages, and Facebook would shut me down right away because my muscle wasn't big enough. Well, now that I've grown, I thought, well, I'm going to kind of just see how much I can push it to before they shut me down. And so they allowed me to actually do 200. And it was so fun to get to 200. I was so proud of myself. But then guess what happened? I got 200 responses back. And so then I was like, wow, I'm like a love machine over here. So, and I got all different sorts of responses. So it's like my daughter's birthday today. It's so cool and easy to love on them when they just give you responses back like that, right? But guess what happened? Then when I did my post, they all saw it. I don't get the whole math. I just do it. To be honest, she said, do it. I do it. So then I tell her, hey, I'm getting a really good response on my page. She's like, yes, because Facebook responded to you when you loved on everybody. And then it made your post go to the front of their page when they're scrolling through. So all 200 of those people gave me love that I would have never really had exposure to because I had never touched. You can't talk to 5,000 people a day. I'm not a robot. So that's what I wanted to do. If I could, I don't know where we are on time, but I want to encourage everybody to at least talk to 5 people on their page every day that they don't normally talk to, and just see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it. That's how it works. When you send a message in Messenger and you have a conversation in Messenger, it connects all the Facebook's platforms. So it becomes front and center for these people. And I love that piece that Jessika said, where she feels a little selfish if she just runs right to Facebook to see how many people love her and how many notifications and what are people saying about her. She wants to give first. And she does that with birthdays and with conversations. So I love her challenge that she's putting out there to have 5 new conversations in Messenger every single day, not pitching anything, just great conversation. How was your day? Do you have any plans? If you see on their Facebook it's their birthday, you can use that. Just connecting and having conversations, because what that does is it primes the relationship and it creates that connection. When people talk about building relationships or creating connection, there's always like, what does that mean? What do you mean great connection? If you said that to my autistic daughter, she'd give you a blank stare. What do you mean I got to build a relationship? Like, she doesn't know what that means. And a lot of people don't, right? We have social anxiety. I have social anxiety. I'm not exactly 100% comfortable in front of the camera, but I do it because it works. It works. And if I can help someone by just having a conversation with them, which is going to open up my Facebook, because when you have a conversation with somebody, a lot of times they're going to jump on your Facebook and go see what you're all about anyway. And then they're going to see those curiosity posts and they're going to ask you about it. So it really does shake up your Facebook. And I love the way that Jessika puts it. Loving on people first before, looking to see how many people love you, kind of thing. Taylor, do you have something to add to that?
All I wanted to say is that, I mean, again, I love the challenge. If you're in for the challenge, right, I'm in the comments. If you're in, if this is something you want to tackle, again, the simplicity of this is as real as it gets. It's about connecting. It's not about forcing anything. It's about opening the door. And just by doing that, number one, how many people are going to take a deep breath of fresh air by the third message when you don't send them a link? They're just going to be like, oh, thank God. It's a real human. I've got a real human on the line. This is amazing. That's awesome. And then they basically are hooking themselves because now they're going to get on Facebook and they're going to see your stuff. Again, to what Melissa and Jessika said, I think that it is so purely, authentically good to have the mindset of when I first get up in the morning and I get on social media, I'm going to look at the birthdays. I'm going to look at some people that I can love on. Let that be your intention with social media. Let that be that a place that you go to give to, not that place that you go to take from. I promise it will pay you more. It will give you more if you go to that platform as a platform that you can give to instead of a platform that you can take from, as Jessika was saying. Incredible value this evening. Incredible value. This has just been amazing. Jessika, I have no doubt that we're going to be seeing more and more of you on these calls as you continue to grow and just develop and help more and more people find what they're looking for through the duplication within your organization. And Melissa, to you, sister, everyone, again, let's just give a huge, everyone has already given all the love in the comments here. You just lead by example, sister, and that's what I love. You hear it in everyone on your team. There is no greater compliment than to have a successful team below you, as that is a true sign of leadership. And now we're getting to see that next chapter, that next class of leaders with Jessika and those like Donna and the other amazing rock stars on your team, Maggie, and oh my gosh, I can't even name all of them, but all the rock stars on your team are all coming up, as well as all of us. So with that being said, I hope all of you have just an abundant and a blessed rest of your evening. God bless each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you on our What's Up Weekly call this Wednesday. I got a super fun announcement for you this Wednesday, so don't miss it. Until then, bye for now. Melissa, Jessika, thank you so much. See you ladies soon.